You actually hit the ground running. I saw your interview. I saw your response talking about your sister, but we ain't talk about it on this platform. You actually interviewed the president, and talk about like what's the process like to interview? I know people gonna go up in arms because it's Donald Trump, and feel free if you guys had a prior relationship as well. But just the logistics that goes into like the president reaching out to the president, actually confirming the interview, and actually your relationship with Donald Trump.
Well, it wasn't much of a process at all. I think, quite honestly, Donald Trump wanted to be interviewed on ESPN, and ESPN's politics wouldn't allow it. They basically refused to interview Donald Trump. And so Donald Trump was looking for a way to connect and reach out in the sports lane and world. He wanted to talk about the Big Ten football coming back and the role he played. Right. And so they reached out to me, they had somebody on their staff whose boyfriend was a Ball State graduate and a big fan and follower of my work. Okay. And they reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in interviewing the president?" And I said, "Of course, I'm a journalist, I would." And so that was probably, let's say if I interviewed him November 1st, October 15th or something like that, October, somewhere in there, 2 or 3 weeks before the election. I'd say 2-3 months before then, they asked if I'd be interested. I said yes. And I'd say 2-3 weeks before the interview, they asked me, "Well, what type of questions would you want to ask President Trump? We want to talk about Big Ten football." And I said, "Well, I'll ask a question or two about Big Ten football, but I have other questions that, I'm interested in." Gave them a preview or parameters of types of questions that because again, my parents were factory workers first. My dad worked at Chrysler. My mother worked for Western Electric, AT&T, factory worker or whatever. And so the whole America First, the whole reach out or design to bring manufacturing jobs back to America, that kind of stuff appealed to me. And I told them that. And then, they said they were good with the types of questions I wanted to ask. And some friends of mine here in Tennessee volunteered to fly me and about 5 or 6 guys.
Oh, dope.
That wanted to go, or people that worked with me, and I took a partner of mine that played basketball at Ball State with me, and then there's a cat that I'm cool with in DC named Curtis Schoon that I took with me to the White House. And Papa John from Papa John's Pizza, he's a Ball State graduate.
Sure.
We kind of tight. I took him, and then a couple people from Outkick, and we just flew out. I had never met President Trump before that. I may have been at a Tyson fight, I think, where I may have waved or, hell, at that time. Well, I've never been an autograph guy, but it would have been years ago. But anyway, this is my first time ever meeting him. And so, we probably got to the White House at, let's say, 9 a.m. And the interview probably didn't happen until noon. And then, the interview was about 20 minutes right outside the Oval Office in the Rose Garden. And then for about 15 minutes after the interview, we went into the Oval Office, met with a lot of people on his staff and took a few pictures. And then I'd say We were there for 10, 15 minutes, and then we were out of left the White House, and that was that.